If you hear me over the nose of the engine, but there's a catastrophic leak from the timing cover coming out of the gear lever, gear shift duct, but also it is puffing out of the breather and actually spraying through the breather. Loads of oil in here, and it's coming up through here as well. Okay, so with the engine blowing oil, I've taken it out of the frame. Usual kind of struggle to get it out, but not too bad. I ended up taking off the plate on this side at the back. This one I was able to leave on, but just push back, so it's still connected here, but disconnected up the top, and just say push that one back out the way. Obviously, these mounts came off. The only other problem was getting it under the frame. Ended up having to take out these two studs, and they would just clear the frame. Luckily, they came out relatively easily just with double nuts, so that's fine. The issue I've got at the moment is that the rocker box won't come off, and I've just realised the reason is that this stud is bent. That's obviously taken a knock at some time, and it's distinctly bent. I mean, you can see it on the camera, but it's leaning back this way rather than being vertical. So I think I'll try and get that stud out. It's going to be the easiest thing to do. Trying to straighten it in situ probably isn't going to work very well. I'll get it out first if I can and then straighten it. Okay, this is coming out now. You can see the bend on it. Quite a distinct kick over. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, quite bent. So I'll straighten the vise easy enough. So the big lights will come off now. Whoop, that's better. Yeah, I was starting to get worried trying to get it off earlier. Okay. I wondered how the valve lifter works. That's quite neat, isn't it? This little half round lifts up that rocker arm. Right. So these rods, obviously somebody's colour coded them, which is good. So the inner one is red. Remember that, the inner one is red, which I guess is the exhaust. Is that right? I'll work that out later. So inner red. Actually, those look to be something fancy, don't they? That's some sort of aftermarket rod. It's very bright and shiny. Interesting. Okay, so managed to get the head off, and it all looks very clean, really. So this piston is virtually brand new. It's got a few marks on it, plus 20 thou, but it doesn't look as if it was leaking at all. The gasket face, the gaskets here. Doesn't look too bad. Well, there could be something there, I suppose. Again, the head itself doesn't look too bad. There's a lot of black gunge coming out of the exhaust port and being blown back around between the head and the barrel. But I think it's obviously burning oil somewhere. Let's pull the barrel off, see what's going on. casting number on there, which I can't read. Oh, 71, 71 12 15. I'll look that up. I assume it's the standard barrel. I guess the line has been changed to get the 20 thou. But again, that bore doesn't look too bad at first glance. I think you can see where the piston's been sat for some time. But yeah, so not bad by any means. And again, this piston looks a bit fancy. I don't imagine that's a standard piston. And the looking at the flywheels down here, they're really shiny and look really nice. I start to think the issue must be with the oil pump and the scavenging. If it's not scavenging properly, it would tend to oil accumulate in the sump and get thrown around by the flywheel and just go everywhere. I think that might be the problem. But we'll press on. All the rings are okay, they're all intact. And again, it all looks very clean. But again, it all looks pretty clean. The more I look at it, the more I think it must be some kind of oil pump issue. I need to get this cover off. Taking off these screws, but this center one is just too tight, and the thread, rather the Phillips cross, is all chewed up. I've tried a impact wrench, impact driver, and that's no good. So I've got a screw extractor on the way. Let's give that a try. Okay, so I have some left-hand drills. I think I've got two sizes. This looks like 5mm. I think I've got 6 as well. Let's try this one for a start. Because the advantage of a left-hand drill is that if anything, it'll drag the bolt out or the screw out. If it does catch, there's always a chance that as it gets warm, for example, if anything, it's going to pull the bolt out. Is that going the right way? Yes, it is. Right, that has done it. There we go. Head of the screw. That's gone pretty well. It's just bang in the middle, and it's only just the tiny little edge there of the rest of the screw. So I was going to replace these with socket heads anyway, so that is fine. Good result. It's an interesting phenomenon. There's oil pouring out of here. Now I've tipped this case on its side. Oil is pouring out of this breather. So that's weird. There's obviously a lot of oil in this case. So these screws all seem to be different lengths, which is a bit of a pain. It's covered in oil, isn't it? So if I say clockwise, from in front of the clutch lever. So this one is there. This one is next. Small ones. short one, which looks to be a different thread to these. It is. It's a different thread to the shorter ones up here. Good old BSA standardization of parts. I think that's all the ones holding the outer cover on. Try and keep the kickstart in. There we go. Ooh, lots of oil. Wow. That's why it's blowing oil out of the breather. Is the breather? No, the breather's back here. Comes through there. Bit of sludge down here. Quite a lot of sludge down here. Bit nasty. Yeah, my C15 of course didn't have this pinion gear thing. But interesting to see that for the first time. So here's the screw. Oh, of course it goes full straight out now. This one I had to drill up the head off. So I'm not sure why that was so tight. Although that was, maybe it's just the head being so badly damaged. Oop. So there's the gear for the clutch mechanism. It's actually quite neat. I like that. So there's a ball bearing in the end, which obviously provides the contact to that push rod. Interesting. Right, I think I might have found the problem. This SRM sump plate, I reckon it's too shallow. It's the classic issue of the pickup pipe getting blocked by the underside of the sump plate, so it can't scavenge. So that would make complete sense. That would explain why the engine's filling up with oil. And then of course it gets thrown around and comes up past the piston and burns. So maybe I just didn't need to take the engine out. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but there again I can, while it's apart, I can fix the wet sumping, hopefully. So I might as well take off this cover, I haven't got this far, and take it from there. Interesting. I wonder if that is the problem. That would make complete sense. I'll also explain why it started to happen, obviously after I fitted this plate, which is relatively new. I only fitted it a while ago.